Hey everybody, I'm back with another review. Euphoria Season 2, Episode 4. You who cannot see, think of those who can. The episode starts with Rue and Jules having sex, and Rue is high out of her mind. She can't feel anything, but she keeps saying, this is amazing, this is amazing, this is amazing. But clearly it's not amazing. She even says, might as well be going down on my ankle. So Jules confides in Elliot and is like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Rue. I don't think I'm good at sex. And Elliot's like, well, let me show you. So Elliot starts kissing on Jules's hand and things get tense. Next thing you know, they're making out, and when that happened, I felt so betrayed. I felt betrayed. I felt like I was the one who was getting cheated on. And Elliot puts his stuff back in his waistband and tells Jules Rue's outside. Nate goes to see Maddie in her extravagant house, and Maddie tells him that she loves him, not obsessed, not about the sex. I love you. And they decide to get back together. Cassie is not feeling that at all. They're arguing. Nate is so over Cassie. Cassie is over Nate, but they still want to keep doing this thing. Cassie's like, I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her. And Nate is like, go ahead. Do it. Go ahead. Tell her how much of a terrible person you are. You sit there and you act like a good person, but this is about you. Cassie's walking out, and Nate is like, I love you. And Cassie doesn't even look back. So we're starting to see that she knows what's up with this situation. Cal is messed up. He has a headband on from when Ash cracked him in the head. And Cal is clearly not okay. So he's pulling out his old Jeep that he used to have, and he's going to go have some fun. Rue, Jules, and Elliot hanging out, and this truth or dare thing is getting way out of hand. Rue goes to the bathroom, and they do this trifling thing when they start kissing while she's in the bathroom. And as soon as she comes out the bathroom, they jump up and move out the way. And Jules tells Elliot to kiss Rue for 10 seconds. And in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, Jules is clearly trying to have a threesome, right? And I'm like, how is Rue going to feel about that? So Elliot is kissing Rue. And Rue is playing along, but then Jules is like, Elliot, I want you to lick from my stomach all the way up to my chest. And Elliot does it, and Jules is into it, but we start to see how Rue is feeling about that later on. Cal back at the bar. He's back at the gay bar that Derek took him, that we saw in the last episode. And he's making everybody uncomfortable. He's touching people with his finger. He's turning on whatever music he wants to turn on. He's laughing uncontrollably. And he starts dancing alone. And some dude comes up to him and he's dancing. And he sees Derek. And you see how messed up Cal actually is. And he's trying to relive his childhood and go back to a time where everything wasn't so complicated and messed up. He ends up getting thrown out the bar for wanting to wrestle with everybody. And it was kind of like a metaphor for, dude, your childhood is over. You can't play these games anymore, which was really sad to see. Elliot had this idea to rob this liquor store for liquor, and Jules is definitely down. They go in the store, they rob the store, and the guy comes out with a bat, and they're trying to get the car moving fast, and the manager of the store cracks the window open. And Rue is over the whole situation, drinking, but she's not supposed to be drinking while on certain drugs. And Elliot knows that she's not sober, but it's hard to hide. Just like, I'm over it. Take me home. I'm done. And Jules is like, why? What? I thought we were having fun. Rue is like, I can't fucking stand you. Take me home. And Jules starts crying. And you start to see that truth or dare game that they're playing with Elliot, it's actually taking a toll on Rue. You start to see these scenes where Rue is high, and it seems to be some sort of spiritual experience for her. Like, she's in the church, and there's this beautiful moment where you see the cross, and Rue is just walking to the altar. She's just trying to give it up. She wants to give it up. And there's also a moment with her hugging her father. Sometimes watching Euphoria, you forget that Rue does have a lot of problems going on. You forget that because Rue can actually be such a comedic character, and she's always making you laugh, but you actually forget that she did lose her father 2 years ago, and that she does have a bunch of mental health problems. I think the writers did a good job of reminding us that this is not just some girl who just wants to do drugs just cause. This is a girl who is experiencing a lot of pain and is trying to heal herself. I just thought the scenes with her being high were so beautiful because just the imagery of the cross and trying to find healing and being able to surrender, that was so beautiful. And you could see that she was at peace, holding and hugging her father and being in the church. Maddie is having this birthday party, and Cassie's mom, first of all, is one of those cool moms who let you sip if you don't tell. This whole situation is clearly destroying Cassie to watch her best friend and try and keep this secret. Even a moment where she gives Maddie a best friend book for her birthday, and she gives Maddie a hug, but she's crying. Maddie's crying out of joy. Cassie is not crying out of joy. Nate comes to the party, and this tears Cassie apart. She's just drinking, and she goes up and puts on her nice bathing suit. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get your attention. You're not gonna ignore me. And she comes down and she's dancing to the music. You start to see, at first you thought that Nate did care about Cassie, but you're starting to see that he really does not care about Cassie at all, because he is looking at her in all of this pain and turmoil, and he thinks it's just a regular day. So they're in the hot tub, and this scene is where everything goes crazy. Maddie gets into this argument with Nate, and Cassie is feeling all of the feelings. Maddie is going in over Nate over something stupid. She's like, you want to go, you asked me to move to college with you. Oh, Maddie, have my baby. And this conversation is tearing Cassie up. And shout out to Kat. There's a moment where Kat has Maddie's back, and Nate's like, of course she's going to agree with you. And Kat's like, if I wanted to disagree with her, I would disagree with her. And I love how Euphoria does this thing where it takes the high school tropes and like destroys them. Like the popular girls do hang out with Kat and other people, and the nerdy girl actually can stand up for herself and defend herself. So props to Euphoria on that. Oh, I love you, Maddie. Oh, I want you to move to college with me, Maddie. Oh, I want you to have my babies. And that triggered Cassie's everything internally, and she vomits all over everyone in the hot tub. And it's funny because her mom is trying to get her out the tub, and she just cannot stop apologizing. I'm sorry, Maddie. I'm sorry, Maddie. And Maddie is like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But little does Maddie know, Cassie is apologizing not for the vomit, but for everything that she's doing that's eating her up. It was really sad to see just how much Nate does not care about Cassie at all. And that's how it usually goes in life. The more you love somebody, or the more you want somebody, the more they don't want you back. And her mom is dragging her away, and she's reaching out, and there's this sad moment where Nate is looking at her in all of her trauma and goes and gives Maddie a towel because that's who he's really focused on. Nate does not care about anyone but himself, and he made that painfully clear this episode. Cal comes home, and I did not expect this scene to get out of control like it did. He's peeing on the floor, and throughout this scene, you see that there's moments where I'm like, oh, he can make a comeback from that. He can make a comeback from that. He can return from that. All you got to do is say you were a little drunk in the morning and it'll be fine. His wife comes downstairs and is like, okay, what is going on? You're scaring me. What are you doing? Can you come to bed? He lets his truth out. He starts saying how he's been having sex with men, women, everybody. It is shocking and disturbing. But hold on, y'all let me know in the comments. Did y'all know Nate had a brother? I was like, when he came out, when Nate's brother, I think Aaron is his name, he came out, I was like, that's not Nate. Who is that? Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. Cal is going in on everybody. He's like, Marsha, you keep your love letters, you watch all this different type of porn. Like, what is wrong with you? I hate this family. This is who I am. This is how I live my life. I'm going to live my truth. And it upsets his wife so much. And I felt so bad for his family. Yeah, they're all going to need a bunch of therapy after that. There just was a moment where there was no going back from the things he was saying. I mean, you could have blamed it on being drunk, but at a certain point, it's like, nah, he's pretty sober saying this. This is a sober mind. The last image is of Rue hugging Labyrinth, which is cool. Shout out to Labyrinth for being in the episode. But there's this beautiful image with the cross behind them, and it's just like, yeah, you just want to give your problems to God. She just wants to be at peace, and that was just a really beautiful moment. All right, everybody, what'd you think of this episode? Let me know what you thought about Nate and Cassie. What'd you think about the hot tub scene? What'd you think about Cal coming home and exposing his family and exposing himself? What'd you think about Rue and Jules and Elliot and that triangle that's going on? You feel like Jules is in the wrong for wanting to get with Elliot behind Rue's back? Let me know. All right, I'll see you next time. Jalen out.